So question one, just to remind you all, just reflection on organisational or societal impact that you've made. And there were some really great responses here today. What a collective that we've got. Martin in my group, in my room, mentioned pushing the use of power apps, you know, taking advantage of the current climate and getting the organisation on board to using those. Touched on mental health as well, being advocates for mental health. I think we all agreed we've touched on that in the past year. Opening up emotive talks amongst the team as well. So what a great way to drive open discussion amongst your teams. And we had a point around supporting investment talks as well, making sure IT stay sort of front and centre of our mind. And then some cases where, you know, as we said, there's a shift in exec leadership, fighting to save our role as well, you know, uncertainty in the future. So it's been a year of, you know, shifting and adapting to some of the changes that have been going on there. Linking to BRMs across the organisation, it's great to see that that's been happening this year. Institute message has been out there more recently, but it's great that that's been happening, and aligning processes as well. Starting to declare policies on shadow IT as well, which I think we've all had experience of as well. Using social capital to work on societal change, such as chair of the BAME network, to make a positive change. That's brilliant. Supported the COP26 event. So, you know, we're pulling on our industries here and sort of leveraging, you know, where we've been able to influence and make a difference. So I think that's been really positive, really good. So Andrew, shall I pass on to yourself now?
Yeah, thanks, Jag. So the summary around this was around the question to do with how do you plan to remake yourselves. I know certainly in the group that I had, one of the questions I actually put to them and added to that was, do I need to remake myself? Question mark. Why is it I need to remake? And a thing that actually came out in the feedback we gathered from everybody is about the educating of others about what we do and what we can bring. So the remaking question was maybe more around the themes of personal and professional learning and development for the individual BPs as a person, as a role, being more engaged with the BRM community, the lessons learned that we shared with one another, being more engaged around the development of that empathetic aspect of the BRM role that we can bring to the organisations. The second theme was around the educating of the organisations that we're all part of. That picks up on things like the rebranding, of the individual, but also where the value chains are in the organisation as part of that educating the organisation. Theme 3 I took from the notes was the value stories. Desperately looking to hear from people from different sectors. What are the stories that we can share and explain more clearly about the role creates value in our organisations and through the opportunities. But theme 4, closing theme that I had taken from the feedback for question 2 was around business demand and business need. So this is about then in the remaking of 2022, what are the demands coming out of the business that we can respond to, and in what way can we influence that, be it via strategic discussions or a voice, working with other professional services in support of the business needs. Hopefully that summed up what people were contributing to on that question.
Sorry, we've got the question wrong on the slide. So the question was, what do you think constitutes a super BRM or an uber BP?
Yes, so thank you for that, Jag. Having trust in yourself, having a good relationship with director level and across the whole organisation. These were the themes that we were pulling out from there. Promoting the role of the business partner or BRM within the business, and not letting the business think that you're a super BRM just because you can fix the printer. That's not the role of the BRM. And it's not the role of a super BRM. It's working at that higher level within the organisation. The themes coming through are all about looking at the strategies and putting those strategies through from the different areas. Getting involved externally. As many people on here, they've Pez has done podcasts. I know Jag has been involved in podcasts and stuff as well. So I think it's all about raising the profile of the BRM role, whatever title it may have, within all industries, and making realise that there is a role for someone to play in organisations about making and conjoining everything together. And with that, unless you'd like to add anything, Jag, I'm going to bow out gracefully.
Yeah, because interestingly in our group, you know, we talked about the individual having a more diverse circle. So actually a super BRM will have more greater interactions than a CIO, which I thought is a great strength to have. They shape and evolve the role. They manage themselves. Confidence to be visionary, which is something Martin said. So Martin, actually, out of 80 BRMs in his war-gone organisation, has been selected to be one of the top 10 representatives for global BRM in his organisation. So what a great position to be now, to be visionary. And he said, don't wait around, you know, take it by the hand and run with it. Be consistent and be polished, he said. Almost akin to super BRM is getting a 4.5 star on BRM advisor. It's one way we sort of put it as well. And yeah, as you said, builds good relationships, but I don't think there's any junior senior attribute to this. I gave an example of a junior BRM starting in my team, and absolutely was a super BRM, managed self and evolved the role, you know, without having to consistently, you know, check back, you know, to see if they're on the right path, and to take it, you know, keen as mustard to kind of evangelize and energize people. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that, and we'd really like your feedback on the survey on this.
Sorry, Joe, we've got one question from Aaron.
Yeah. So just a couple things, and this might be a language thing between, you know, the United States and the UK. So help me with that. One of the things we've got to get away from is superhero, right? It's never about the individual ever. And the moment any BRM makes it about themselves as an individual, they lose. You know, the organization, your teams are going to throw you out. And so I would just ask the community, if you see, I kind of got scared when I saw this topic, you know, super BRM. Are we going down that road, right? And so, but I'm hearing different things, which is wonderful. So does that make sense? Is it something you all agree with?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think the connotation is not a super BRM. It's how can the BRM add value to the organisation, and not be the person that fixes the printer.
Yeah,
because that's what you can be. That people think, oh, you're great, you're fantastic, I couldn't do without you. Well, why not? Well, because you always fix the printer for me. Well, no, that's not my role. It's building on those building blocks to actually make sure you've got that service level there, so you can actually work with the organisation and deliver that change by actually coordinating those departments and being that link between things.
Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think it certainly came out of our discussion as well that the super BRM is the one that's humble, leading in a humble way, right? So it's certainly not about ego or you know, look at me, I'm the big BRM. That's the opposite of what we mean by it. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But, yeah.
And Jag, just something for you and others, because I hear it a lot. Job titles. When you label somebody, you're branding them junior. It makes it very hard for them, right? So we've discouraged that, and we're starting to see it less and less. It's like never, even right out of college, doesn't matter. You know, don't give them that junior title, because then they're fighting it every day of their life. It makes their job 10 times harder. So think about that in titles.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something for graduates as well when they join, and they're called the graduate and the junior, and it is stifling.
Yeah.
But I suppose in my example, this chap was very new to joining IT, 7 years working in one department. So yeah, that for me, converting it into how he managed to perform was incredible. And absolutely talking to directors in banking and senior leaders, the title disappears, the title melts away, because that's someone who's generating value and representing us in a really positive light.